The Loretta Young Show.
Hello. If you are fortunate enough to be in a position to help another, be it financially or physically or spiritually, are you wise enough to know how to do it? Our story tonight opens in the drafting room of a well-known architect.
David. This is Mrs. Pierce.
How do you do?
And this is our head draftsman, David Harrison.
Hello.
David, Mrs. Pierce is going to be working with us.
Good.
And I thought you might like to show around a bit till she gets used to things.
I'll be delighted. You a draftsman?
Mm-hmm.
Any good?
Well,
Don't let him frighten you, Ruth. That direct approach of his makes him invaluable to this firm. But sometimes it's disturbing to people. Don't let it be to you.
I'll try not to.
Why don't you put your things over here, Mrs.
Thank you.
You can use this desk. It's good when the light's good, and it's out of the line of the cold air.
Oh, thank you, but I don't mind fresh air. In fact,
Didn't say fresh air, I said cold air. The air conditioning that Mr. Ulrich provides us with, after the third cold, it might turn into pneumonia.
Yes.
I'll show you a few of the shortcuts around here.
Oh, a suggestion, David. Why not put her on the Barrett plans? Perhaps a fresh mind could pick up some of the loose ends. Now, she's really very good, or I wouldn't have hired her.
Naturally. I think the Barrett plans is a good idea. They certainly have been bugging me.
Good luck, Ruth.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ulrich.
Ruth Pierce. Are you by any chance the widow of Roger Pierce?
Yes.
Well, of course. What an idiot I am. I don't know how I didn't catch on before.
Oh, that's quite all right.
He was a great architect.
Oh, thank you. At this moment, I'm hoping some of his know-how has brushed off on me. For some unknown reason, I'm terribly nervous, even more so than I thought I'd be. Good morning, Kate. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes?
This is pretty good.
Oh. Oh, you like it?
I do. Maybe you ought to go into architecture seriously.
I thought that's what I was doing.
Let's see.
There.
I see what you've done. You turned all the offices toward a central court, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's good. But listen, Ruth, the first thing you must do with any problem is to look for the most direct solution, the simplest, because it's quite often the best. That's for you.
Oh, well, that's lovely. How come?
Barrett finally okayed the plans, thanks to you.
No,
Yeah.
stop kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh, well, that's a relief, isn't it?
And that's the highest award the office has to offer, with the possible exception of having dinner with one of the senior partners.
Well, now that's one of the sneakiest attacks I've ever heard. But thank you, I'd like to very much.
Good. Where are we dining? Your place?
Well, that's also very sneaky.
No, I'm going to buy the food.
About 7 o'clock?
No, I'll drive you home.
Oh, thank you.
Getting me over here to paint on a bright Sunday afternoon.
That was kind of sneaky, wasn't it?
Sure was.
Well, never mind. Ellen's going to love your handiwork.
Well, she better. I don't think that I'll have, I don't think I'll put the second coat on, though.
Why not?
Well, I don't think it'll dry in time.
Oh, it's got plenty of time to dry. She doesn't get here till tomorrow afternoon. Want some more coffee?
Yeah. You're a pretty shrewd one.
Yeah.
Listen, are you sure that you wouldn't like to take her out to dinner tomorrow night?
No, I'm not at all sure. Why don't you ask me?
Maybe I will.
Mm-hmm. It's right there on that wall.
Now,
see?
come on, Ruth. That's nonsense. The colors you like to wear aren't the colors you use on a living room wall.
Well, why? If it's all right for furniture, why isn't it all right for a wall?
But it isn't all right for furniture.
Well, it's the exact same color that you mixed to paint the furniture in Ellen's room.
But that's canyon stone.
That's lavender. Yes.
Lavender's my favorite color.
I know it is, darling, and that's why we painted all your furniture lavender. Now, it was supposed to be a surprise, but I had to open my big mouth.
Yeah, but it's not lavender.
I hope it is.
It is, sweetie.
All right. It's a shade of black.
Thank you.
You want some more ice cream?
Yes, please.
Waiter, you want some more coffee?
I would love some.
Bring us some more ice cream, please, for this lady, and bring us some more coffee. Yes, sir.
Honey, are you sure you're not too tired to go to a movie? Mm-hmm. Well, Aunt Martha warned me, that you had to have plenty of sleep, and that was a long plane trip.
I'm not tired.
Isn't it wonderful, the youth of today?
Listen, if you'll both excuse me, I think I should call the theater to see what time the second feature starts.
Oh, it's a wonderful idea. I can't stand walking in the middle of the picture.
She's a girl after my own heart. Excuse me.
You know something? David designed that theater we're going to. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's only about 3 blocks down the street. I think we can walk if we're...
Good morning, Mrs. Fair.
Good morning, Kay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad you could make it. Where were you? We've got a pile of work to do here.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Lisa and I had a good time last night. She's a nice kid.
Yes, isn't she?
Well, a 16-year-old. She's refreshingly shy, too. Did she like the paint job?
Oh, yes. Yes, very much.
Good. Look. Now, I want you to make the change. There's been a change in the whole grade line.
Oh?
So please make the corrections in the cross sections and in the elevations.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a rush print. I should go to blueprint in about a half an hour, okay?
Yes, fine.
Ruth, what happened? You don't show up for days, you don't bother to phone in, you're not sick.
I'll tell you about it sometime.
Well, what's the matter? Do you realize it's been weeks since I've seen you outside this office? Something's happened.
Well, there isn't anything more I can say. I've just been busy.
All right, Ruth. What you do outside this office is your business. What you do here is mine. I'm responsible for getting the work out, and yours is getting to be just awful. It's sloppy.
You're through. Maybe I can go ahead with my work.
I'm not through. Listen, I'm too old for this sort of thing. If there's someone else, just tell me.
No. There's no one else.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Bruce,
Yes?
this is the first time I've had a chance to speak to you. I want you to know that I'm sorry that I was so rough on you last week.
Well, that's all right. I probably deserved it. Even though I didn't enjoy it very much.
You know, this is the first day that you've acted human.
Oh, darn it, I made a mistake on this grade line. Got sloppy, Ruth.
Now, come on. I said I was sorry.
Okay.
beautiful. Maybe you don't care about being beautiful.
Of course I care.
I think the left one is a little lower.
Would you like to fix it?
I better answer. Hello? No, everybody. Oh, hello, Harry. No, I'm sorry. I meant to call you back. I've just been so darn busy. That cement contract has been awarded. I'm sorry, Harry. Bye. Ruth, let's go to dinner and to the movies.
Tomorrow night.
Well, what's the matter with tonight?
Well, I promised my sister I'd go to a movie with her tonight.
It seems to me that it's been your sister for 150,000 weeks now.
Well, maybe. About the movie, I mean. I'll meet you in the car outside, okay? I want to make a phone call.
Okay. I'm glad you're letting me take you to dinner and the movie.
David, I don't think I can go after all. I ought to go home.
Why? What's the trouble
Well,
now?
I want to see if my sister's been there.
Well, we can still drive by your place and have time for dinner and a movie.
All right.
What is it, a note from your sister?
No, it's just the one I wrote to her this morning.
I had to leave before you away. That's $5. Be careful, dear. Why should Ellen be careful?
Oh, she just has to be.
I think you worry about her too much, Diary. I mean, she's not a child anymore. 16 isn't really so young.
Oh, it isn't her youth.
Well, why don't you let her work things out alone? What if she makes a few mistakes?
They're not mistakes, that's just it.
Well, let's forget it for tonight anyway. Come on. Let's go ahead.
No,
Ruth, is something the matter with Ellen?
Aunt Martha says there's nothing.
The only time I saw her, she seemed fine.
Excuse me. Hello? Aunt Martha? No, I was at the office when I put the call through. Is Ellen there? Well, I just thought she might be. No, I don't know where she is now. Yes, she was here last night. Well, she was homesick, that's all. I thought she might have decided to take the bus home. Yes. Yes, all right. I'll let you know right away, and you phone me if she comes home. Yes. Oh, everything's going fine. Yes, I got my raise last month. Yes. Bye.
Why don't we just go on out for dinner? Ruth? I love you.
Oh.
That's the first time I ever said that to you, and you didn't even hear me.
Ellen? Ellen, are you out there? Ellen? I'm going outside and look for her. I know she's out there.
Well, I'll go with you.
Oh, no, please don't. No, you'd frighten her, and then she'd never come back.
Frighten her?
Yes, please, David, please. Ellen? 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 Honey? Honey?
I'm hungry.
Find something. We'll cook it.
Corned beef. We played some records this morning and drank some milk. We drank 3 whole quarts of milk. But I didn't unpin the money from the couch. Albert? 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 Albert?
I'm sorry, Mr. Hamilton. I'm sorry.
But the other tenants are complaining.
I know you told me that before, but have you seen... Yes. Did she come home?
She was in the house.
Was she alone?
No.
Albert! Ellen!
Ruth? She's just been telling me it was a sickness. I never heard of such a sickness. My wife said tell him tonight. We can't put up with it any longer. We can't have that kind of tenants. I'm sorry. They've got to go.
She's gone. I don't know when she'll come back now. I suppose I should have told you right away, but I couldn't believe it myself for a long time. Aunt Martha still doesn't believe it. The police thought that...
Police?
She's been arrested twice. The first time Aunt Martha kept a secret, and the second time was the night she came to live with me. You remember how sweet and shy she was? The police called me at 4 o'clock in the morning and told me to come down and get her. I thought she was in bed asleep all the time.
What had she been arrested for?
Well, she was picked up in a car with 2 boys that she'd never even seen before, and the car was stolen. It's awful, just awful.
Why didn't you call me?
Oh, I couldn't. I was too ashamed. I didn't want to involve you in anything. So...
Don't you know that anything that involves you involves me?
David, the police psychiatrist won't hold her there for observation.
And?
Well, I wouldn't let him, of course.
Well, why not?
Well, I couldn't. It would have frightened her to death.
Well, it isn't a question of frightening her, Ruth. It's a question of helping her, and believe me, she needs help.
Oh, I know.
Desperately.
I know. And I think that with a lot of love and attention, I can pull her out of this thing. I really believe I can, David.
You can't help her with love. What she needs is a trained doctor who is trained to handle cases like this.
Oh, no.
You might do her a lot more harm than good.
No, David, you don't understand. She's afraid of doctors. She always has been. She was absolutely terrified by the one down at the police station. She only talked to him for 10 minutes. And believe me, she was terrified.
Please don't be foolish.
I'm not being foolish, and I don't want to argue about this, David. I've already promised the girl she doesn't have to see a doctor now. If I break my word to her, I'll lose all of her confidence, and I can't risk that.
But you're not thinking clearly. What you're risking is her chance to be a normal, healthy woman.
I'm sorry, David. I'm terribly sorry, but this has got to be done my way.
But you've done it your way, and it hasn't worked. She's loose in the city. So what do you do now?
Wait. Just wait. She'll be home. She'll be home. she on here?
No. You want some coffee?
Oh, no. Thank you. Oh, I don't know what I've done without you tonight.
You haven't let me help you yet. You could have told me all this before. You know, the problem is really no different from designing a building. You look for the simple solution. The direct one. Remember?
Did I dream something? Or did you say it?
I said it. I love you. Hello? Yes, this is her residence. Where is she? We'll come right down.
Police station?
Ruth, we have to get one thing straight before we go down there. Promise me that you'll take Ellen to a doctor.
I can't. I've already promised her she won't have to see it.
Well, I don't care what you've promised her. Now, if she was sick with pneumonia, you would take her to a hospital, wouldn't you?
No,
Now, believe me, she's sick with something much more complicated than pneumonia.
No, she's not going to any hospital.
Well, she's in jail now. Would you rather have her in jail than a hospital?
Oh, the police won't hold her. I know that. They didn't hold her before.
That's right. In a few weeks, she'll be right back in jail. Promise me, Ruth.
No, I can't, David. I can't promise you my sister's freedom. If you don't want to go with me, I'll go down and get her myself.
Now, wait a minute. Now, just wait a second. No one's free who's mentally sick.
David, please. I don't want her to go to a hospital. They won't understand her. They'll think she's this way all the time, and she's not. David, you know she's not.
You're still thinking about her as if she were a sweet young girl.
She is.
One side of her is. The other side is horrible.
Oh, don't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What am I going to do?
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go down there and get her and take her to a doctor. All right? All right?
All right. All right.
Oh, come on.
Ellen. Oh, Ruth. Oh, Ruth, please help me. Don't worry, darling. We're going to help you. There. All right. All right. How many times have we heard, hate the sin, but love the sinner? Good night. And we'll see you next week.